Hi, it's Susan at Seaside Stitches, and thank you ever so much for dropping by today. I just wanted to have a quick word with you because it's been some time since I've done a live video, and there's just been a few things going on, nothing major. I've had a few kind of minor health problems and I'm just being investigated for those. And so we've also had some... Alan was in the middle of putting a radiator on. He did that, he fixed it together and it worked fine. And then as he was bleeding the others and working out how to drain the lot, because there's no particular way of doing that on this system, he came across some problems with our large one in the hall, which has been here since the first kind of central heating was put in. So it was quite ancient and things weren't working well, and the valve had gone and it wouldn't reconnect, and it was a nightmare of an afternoon where it was something like a cartoon with not quite streams of water going up in the air, but it was quite a very tense afternoon. And since then it's just been trying to get that sorted. We've now managed to order another radiator because we have the other issue of everything is too heavy for us to get out, so we had to bring my brother-in-law over again, and then he helped him get it out, and we couldn't be sure that when we were ordering another one it would be delivered. And well, it would be delivered, but some do curbside only or just to the doorway and they wouldn't bring them in. So all that is sorted now. The radiator, the next radiator, is due on Monday, so we're not far off that. And I just wanted a quick update. Now outside you may hear quite a bit of building work. One of the issues as well is that I haven't been able to video in here because there's an extension going on back to back with us in the garden, that they're building in some extension into their garden which comes near to our garden wall. And at the moment they've got a little mini digger and that is going on, and then I thought, oh, I can manage now. They're having a rest, they must be going for some lunch. Oh no. So they're just starting up again, and after a while it will get louder and louder and they will be grinding something and I will be off. So I just wanted a quick update with you. The last I spoke to you I was talking about I'd like to start some bag making. I think I'd got to the point where I had cut out one and possibly made it to the point where I was just leaving it to the full construction, where you put all the pieces together, all the pieces that have already been constructed as pieces, if you know what I mean, like the fronts, the back, the side strip and all that kind of thing, and the handles. They just all needed to be fixed together. Everything was fixed together except the side strip to the front and the back, and I'd left it at that point because my head was more engaged. It seemed like my head was much more engaged in getting everything to that process, so I've left that one. I've now made a second one. It's the By Annie in Control bag, or caddy. It's the smaller version. I call it the smaller sister to the catch-all caddy. So I've got the second one in the same situation as the first one. I have also started, and I'm about three-quarters way through that. That is not far off finished, to the point where it's all actually put together, but it just needs, again, the front, the back and the side strip to be attached. So that's the third one, and then I'm going to hopefully have a run on. It's my least favourite part because it takes a lot out of me, the bit where we actually put it together on the side strip and the curve and the... I'm going to try and show you the kind of difficulties I'm going to be under, because this is the front of the bag, the caddy with three pockets. I have to start with the back of the bag on the bed of my machine, and keep your 1/4-inch foot and juggle ice creams while you're actually doing it, and then use your stiletto and don't poke yourself and all that kind of stuff. That's even before you get to the binding bit. But I feel like while I've had the headspace to be measuring and cutting and planning and putting colours together, that's been the most important thing for me to do, and I can, at my leisure, I can sew the tougher bits together. Okay, I'm just showing the edges, the raw edges now that are going to have to be bound. So this is the catch-all caddy 2.0, and I'm just up to the last section, which is binding these very thick edges. So as you can see, quite meaty, some of these. Just move it around. Oops. So, wish me luck. And I have to start with the back of the bag body on the machine bed. So, and the binding goes up over the edge and down again, and it's like a continuous loop. So, see how we go. Yes, because I want to start and end it at the back, on the back. I have to have the part with the curved piece downwards, and so I'm going to have to be putting my binding on there and rounding off to there, so that I can finish it on the front edge. Well, it will be the back, but what I mean is on the outside edge. But this is going to be on the inside of the bag, if you can grasp what I mean. The inner part, where it's going to be on the bottom, on the sides, but we're going to finish it off by putting the final stitching from the front through. Because I did feel like I needed physio last time I did one of these, and I think it's Christine at Gemini Stitches, when she made the catch-all caddy, she put, yes, it was quite a meaty sew. So I think that's how I would explain it, but perhaps with less polite language. So I'll pop some pictures in of where I've got up to, and just a little array of colourful stuff, pieces. That's all really, that's all I can show you. And just to say that I am sewing at times. I'm just looking after myself quite a lot, and that's not just being idle. I'm doing lots of thinking, I'm watching lots of sew together videos and things like that. So I just wanted to say hi, because you're so wonderful and it's so lovely to have you out there. And I do apologise, I know I haven't gone through my comments. I have been distracted even more than I usually am, and I know there's no excuse for it, and I do apologise, because I really do value your comments. But I will get to that, and it isn't that I don't care, it's just that I've stuff. It's stuff in my mind, and it's stuff, and my priority has been to actually level out a bit of what my life is, because after my sister and husband had been last time, we were so pleased, we had a lovely time, and I think I mentioned that on my last video, but on my last video to camera. But when they'd gone, I started noticing, oh my God, this radiator, another radiator, this radiator's filthy, or this floor, it just is so full of crumbs, or this and that. And so what we've realised is that we're both very keen to get on with, each of us very keen to get on with our hobbies, but we haven't been particularly focusing on, let's have a cleaning day. And I think that's what I've been doing as well. I've been it sounds a bit boring, it is boring, but I just feel like I've also lost that kind of pride in, I don't mean we live in a real tip, well, or a muck tip, as would be said, but there are areas where we have had to improve, and I feel like that's where I've tried to balance out what I'd been calling my passion, but I think it's more of an obsession about sewing and getting this done and getting that done. And really, I also want a nice home, and we have a nice home. It's just been a bit crusty around the edges. You're probably all switched off now. Okay, so I'm going to go now, but thanks ever so much for being there. I have been watching other vloggers, and I have been as I say, watching sew-alongs for what I'm doing and for what I want to do in the future, particularly bag making. And so that's me really. So that's my Friday sews. I've absolutely no idea what date that is because it's near the end of September. Would it be the 29th when this goes out? Possibly. But thank you. And thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for setting up this hashtag Friday Sews, a resource really, that's so people who are interested in watching vloggers and with a kind of relatively loosely prescriptive format is the word. So there's a bit of chat, there's a bit of what I've been doing, and there's a bit of maybe what my plans are. Oh, I'm wearing my Pattern Emporium Take the Chance dress. I'm wearing it with a cardigan that I got from Bon Marche when my mum was with us. Anyway, she came to live with us because she was poorly and I looked after her. But she loved Bon Marche clothes, Bon Marché, and I took a fancy to some of the cardigans when I used to get her a cardigan, and I think, oh, that's quite nice. And they're not quite the waterfall ones, but they're kind of, anyway, dated. But this one has always had some kind of fault here where it's not been quite caught in the... It really doesn't matter, but when my hair's down you don't notice it, and I just had to nip to the doctor's today and have some bloods done, so I had my short cardigan, short sleeve dress on and bunged a cardigan on top. Okay, so I'll see you, I will leave it there, and thanks ever so much for watching. Susan at Seaside Stitches signing off. Bye for now.